Hey, mighty men of God, Dr. Joe Martin here with Real Men Connect, where we help good men become great men God's way by providing with real answers to real problems in the real world. We help Christian men win. And I want to ask you a question. Do you describe yourself as a good multitasker, or would you like to be a good multitasker? You know what I'm talking about. Being able to do multiple things at the same time and get things done without having to do one thing at a time. Well, the reason why I ask, because I'm here to dispel a myth. And this is, I think, is a lie from the enemy. And I'm going to show you why I think it's a lie from the enemy. But it's caught on a lot of traction. Is that it seems to be attractive in our society to be a multitasker, to do a lot of things at one time. And a good example is me driving right now as I'm shooting this video. This is multitasking. I am driving and I'm doing a video at the same time. Now, I will confess and I will admit, this is not the best way to do a video. It's not the best way to do the video. But like we do most of the time when it comes to multitasking, we do it because it's convenient. And when I'm in the car, I'm driving, it allows me to do a real man ride along with you, because if my kid was in the car, I'll be talking to my child, or my wife is in the car, and so I'm talking to you. But this is a good example of multitasking. Now you say, well, Joe, that's pretty good. But now listen to me, and I'm throwing myself under the bus. This is not the best way to do anything. All right? Here's the lie from the enemy, that you have to become a good multitasker. You can't just focus on one thing. You got to be doing multiple things at the same time. Now, I think this is from the enemy, because if the enemy can't, the Bible tells us that enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And he's looking for someone he can devour. And I believe if the enemy can't get you directly and destroy your life, your relationships, your finances, if he can't destroy you straight up, the next best thing is to distract you. Because whatever you distract, you can destroy. Now let me say that again. Whatever you distract, you can destroy. And let me give you a practical example of that. If you are a sports fan and you like boxing, I love boxing. I like to box. And when you're boxing, your opponent must be focused on you in order to defeat you. He must be focused on you in order to avoid contact with you, to avoid avoid your punches and that kind of thing. But if you can get him distracted, guess what? You can hit him. And I think the enemy tries to do that to us a lot. If we're around our wives and he can get you looking at your cell phone, he can get you looking at another woman across the room who may not be dressed appropriately. He can get you distracted by the television that there's sports on, ESPN is on, while you're out to dinner with your family. That can serve as a distraction to destroy your relationships. Now, we're not saying it's going to do it right at that moment, but after a given amount of time, where your family expects you to be distracted when they're in your present, it destroys the relationship. And it can happen on your job. If your job is to focus on doing your project at hand, but yet you allow yourself to be distracted by doing other people's work, worried about how other people are doing their job, looking at who's getting ahead of you, who's out to get you, when you become paranoid, those serve as distractions and they can destroy you. And we can use that in any situation. It'd be with your children the same way. So one of the things I try to do, and I succeed most of the time, is that when I'm around anyone, even around you, I make sure I do not answer my cell phone. I make sure I'm not texting. I make sure that I'm not checking social media, because when I'm in your present, I am fully present. We have a rule in our car with my son and my daughter's car. There's a reason why you've never seen me do a ride along with my children in the car, and they're in the car with me quite a bit. But the reason why I don't do that, because we have a rule that when I'm in their present and when they're in my present, we do not get on our cell phone. We do not even listen to music on the radio. What we do is we focus our time on communicating with one another. Now, you will hear that women are better multitaskers than men are, and maybe that is true. And my wife loves to think she's the master of multitasking. But what she doesn't realize is that your undivided attention in any area means you can't focus 100% in any one area. Now, let me say that again. If you can't give, if your attention is divided in multiple areas, that means you can't give 100% to focus on one area. And you heard the saying that you can be a jack of all trades and a master of none. And so what I'm telling you is that, yeah, you may not get a lot of things done because you're multitasking, but it's better to get one thing done well than to do a lot of different things mediocre. I tell people that the definition of averages means that you're better than the worst, but you're worse than the best, which makes you cream of the crap. So what I'm telling you is that do not succumb to the lie of the enemy that you should be multitasking. Try to focus. Now, I got to repent because I'm shooting this video, but you get the point. But I wouldn't be doing it if my kids were in the car with me. But we need to work harder on focusing and not multitasking, because the enemy wants to not only steal, kill, and destroy, he also wants to distract. Do not let him distract you. Stay focused and stay faithful. And remember, we're males by birth, but we are men by choice. So each and every day, choose to be the man that God called and created you to be, because a male is a terrible, terrible thing to waste. So until next time, stay strong, stay blessed. As always, stay in God's grip, and I'll talk to you soon.